Greetings, my audience. I'm reviewing Avengers Endgame. My name is Jake Allen Graham. Welcome to my channel, where I will be reviewing the last Avengers movie outing called Avengers Endgame. It's a solid 5 out of 10. I give this a 5 out of 10. Um, Not because I hate it, but because I liked it as a 5 out of 10. This, movie was okie dokie okay. As a 5 out of 10. You know how, this is the longest Avengers movie and it feels the longest? Is kind of the problem that feels longest because, what's the word? It takes forever to get going past the setups of the finale, leading to the finale of Infinity War. Thanos attacking Avengers headquarters through time travel, coming back. The rest is a setup to the finale. It feels like the whole movie set up to the finale, led up to the finale of Avengers Endgame, and we have to follow along a shitty Hulk and a shitty Thor and a shitty everyone that was cool on the Avengers gets killed, and is everyone like for example they killed off Black Widow instead of killing off a Hawkeye, which would have been made sense because I don't see a bright future in making money off Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye future. Like maybe you could have done it with Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow because people wanted to see her as a solo outing, but then they went with the wrong outing and nobody really saw the Black Widow prequel that was a prequel to Infinity War, and within earlier phase of Marvel story, after Avengers broke up in the Civil War event, is what Black Widow takes place right after that, between Infinity War and Civil War. It takes place in between those stories, I guess, is what is marking around. And it's just nobody really saw that because it wasn't really a sequel to or continuation of that universe. So probably can't blame anyone for expecting it to suck. And Hawkeye got the sequel to their universe in the Hawkeye show, but it wasn't really following the character of Hawkeye, at least from the episodes I've seen so far of the show. I haven't seen the whole series, but from what I've seen of the episodes, it focuses more on Kate Bishop being Hawkeye, the new Hawkeye, and growing into new hero league of her own. And team up with the old jaded Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's. And, is this tells me that Kate Bishop, if there is a Hawkeye season 2, Hawkeye's going to be in it less than what he would have been in the first one. So it would have made sense for Jeremy Renner to come back for season 2 of Hawkeye and get paid less money, because there's no way that he was going to focus this as much on him, because Kate Bishop was pretty much the main character of the show, not Hawkeye himself. I guess Jeremy Renner was the idiot that didn't see his own content that he started. And that's why he turned down the coming back for Hawkeye for season 2. Because he wanted the same money he got for season 1. Because he would have had. This thing where the story was going to sound like they were going to focus on Hawkeye to be Kate Bishop and have Clint retire early in the show, where the future is going, if the season 2 Hawkeye ever gets happen. But that is my guess based on what I've seen of the show. It also makes weird that Hawkeye gets to like some a version of a purple outing of his costume. That's like a knockoff version of his costume, like a from Target. As in, it looks like a Target tights. But now it's it's just like the costume is the right color, just not the right design, what you would want for a comic book showing Hawkeye. Because he's still comic book outfit design that Kate Bishop came up with, which is the design what Hawkeye looks in the comics, looks like shit, and it says he would never wear that. So, what can we expect from the for the fans except shit? Zipper. So that's why I think not killing off Hawkeye was a mistake instead of killing off Black Widow. Why they should have killed off Hawkeye instead of Black Widow because it would have made the smart marketable decision, I think. And one would have been much smarter if Steve Rogers didn't go back and grow old with Peggy Carter just to hand down the mantle to Steve Rogers to be Sam Wilson, Captain America. That would have been smarter too if Steve Rogers never settled down with Peggy and just returned the stones and then come back like he in present day and moved on with his life. That would have been more in character with Steve Rogers we know than what the ending was, It's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing, movie? And you know what? Wouldn't it have been better if we didn't got Bruce Banner try to fail at creating time travel? It would have been better if we actually saw the Hulk, real OG Hulk come back, Angry Hulk, that was absent in Infinity War and refused to come back for some reason because he's running out of the movie, the only outing that doesn't have Angry Hulk, except in the past of the future when they go time travel. It would have been cool if Bruce ran into Angry Hulk, and Bruce fought Angry Hulk, and Bruce fought Angry Hulk as Smart Hulk. That would have been cool. We could have been getting something. We can't get anything cool. Instead, we got Captain America fighting Captain America from the past in the 2012 outing. Why not get a cool fight between Bruce, the mind of Bruce as Smart Hulk, and the fight between OG Hulk, the monster, that would have been nice to see those two fought each other when they went back to time travel. Instead of what we got was Captain America and him just admiring his own ass cheeks like he's gay or something. And so is and so is Tony Stark, and so is Ant-Man. They're all making comments on Captain America's ass, and they're all fucking horny for Cap, I guess. I don't know what's going on anymore. Was this Back to the Future or the gaze of our lives? Who wrote this piece of horse shit? And that's why Infinity War, the second part of the Infinity War story, the finale called Avengers Endgame, gets a 5 out of 10. It just raises too many stupid questions of what the fuck are they doing? You know how Black Widow in the second outing of Avengers, they made a gay joke? Have Black Widow make a gay joke about Tony and Steve gazing at each other's eyes and being gay for each other? I'm starting to believe all the male Avengers are secretly horny for each other. That would be Thor, who must be bisexual, and Tony must be bisexual because he's with Pepper Potts and fucking Pepper Potts. But then maybe he's more gay because he's no longer with Pepper Potts, but then he comes back with Pepper Potts after the Infinity Civil War event. After Avengers of Ultron, which broke them up, and blah blah blah. There comes Iron Man 3 after Iron Man 3, hinting at their toxic relationship breaking up. And, and, um, and by this one, they have a kid. Probably going through a divorce. I don't know. That's just a guess on my part. So, um, so, Hulk is smart Hulk in this movie. The brains of Brandon and the body of regular Hulk. And it's more scary than seeing regular Hulk on screen killing civilians. And smashing like a Sajari, or killing civilians by accident, or smashing for stuff, or killing the Satari, or killing anything, and doing anything Hulkish, smashing. Somehow he's more scary than Savage Hulk, because he has the personality of Mark Ruffalo, Banner, and ready to be like, I would be peeing myself out of fear. I'm sure that's how he feels like when he's around visiting Hulk, then when Ant-Man comes out of the quantum realm. And because a rat presses the release button in Ant-Man's chamber of the quantum realm. The rat pressed the button. Thank you, that God-given rat. Jesus works in mysterious ways. Clearly. That wrath is God's gift to the plot. Where Ant-Man leads to creating the idea of a time heist and time travel based off every future Back to the Future knockoff and Back to the Future installment. Anything that's about time travel, basically, is how he gets it through watching a bunch of time travel movies referencing time travel. And that's how they all do this. Time heist logic. And Tony figures it out, the equation, overnight and brings it to the guys. And while Banner's trying to test time travel and failing at it because he's an incompetent fat loser. Like Thor is literally a fat loser, and he's shaped like one too. He's also a degenerate drunk. Bullying children into giving up playing and losing against children by threatening to go to the house and beat them. And he says, go cry to your daddy and mommy, you little punk. This was an asshole. And he's supposed to be a hero still. Ironically, he also cries to his mommy when confronting her during the time heist travel in Asgard and talking about his feelings to his mommy while crying to her. And he was bowling a child, or an actual child, early in the film before he ironically cried to his mommy and admitted that he's from the future. Don't you want to love this punk of an asshole, Thor? I sure don't. I want to see him get violated by Thanos up in his asshole. Get raped by Thanos' cock. That would be funny if he uses the Infinity Stones to get, Oh, wait, he doesn't have the Infinity Stones yet. And he doesn't get them. Iron Man gets them and fries half his body while delivering a catchphrase. I'm Iron Man, he says. Before frying his body and burning himself with the fatal wounds that lead to his death. And nobody ever, thought, like Doctor Strange or anybody to just use the time stone on him, to resurrect him. Because, Doctor Strange knows how to resurrect and decay an apple, like in the first Doctor Strange movie. And he knows how to do that in the finale of Doctor Strange 1. But he didn't use that to bring back the sacrifice Tony Stark. Because he probably just want him to die. And Nebula probably just wanted the Earth to die and told Star-Lord about, figure out, puts two and two together that Star-Lord's girlfriend's dead because of Thanos sacrificed Star-Lord to say his girlfriend to the Soul Stone get, avoiding blah blah blah. So she also doomed the universe, and then Star-Lord doesn't, or nobody ever thought to, like Doctor Strange, to use the time stone to rewind the thing that Nebula said and then punch her out cold. And that, I don't know. He could have just used the time stone for that, or the time stone. Instead, he just handed it to Thanos, never used it again. Thanos never tried to use it against Thanos. Why? Because he takes it every month, he might want to use it against him. But that led to nothing other than handing Thanos the time stone willingly. And letting him just snap all her life, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Doesn't make sense. I give up. Try and make sense of this shit. Personally. That's why I think Tony Stark was, be honest, I think Tony, by Doctor Strange, just kind of wanted to kill Tony because he hated him. And didn't even respect him as a person until after he died. Maybe that's why he wanted him to die, so he could respect him instead of getting to know him like the heartless bastard he is, like all the Avengers. It's stupid when they bow to the Tony is when he dies. It's like what is this? The ending of Avatar: Last Airbender movie, 2010 flick. Why is everyone bowing? Because sacrifice. I feel like this is a nightmare. I guess I could understand Cap, but why is everyone doing that? And it just feels ironic, stupid. Then the funeral comes, and then this is taking forever to end the movie. Feels longer than the ending of Return of the King. This movie. After Tony dies, it loses momentum. Because this overstays as a welcome instead of just ending at Tony's death. After his sacrifice, one needs. If everyone just kneeled down to the Tony's corpse and just ended it there and rolled credits, I would have liked it better. The fact the movie overstays its welcome and doesn't know when to fucking end and knows what's pushing it is a piece of horseshit in my book of doing on the filmmakers. Like, it just won't end when it should have ended. It's like, fuck. That's my review on Avengers Infinity War. I give it a 5 out of 10. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Goodbye. Please like and support my channel content I work on. And subscribe to my content, please. Bye.